Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, a show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're taking a look at Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition. Now, I spent like an hour and a bit just sort of playing around with this to try and get a feel for what this is. It's another one of those packages put together by Digital Eclipse that have done things like the Worms Armageddon one for console. I believe they did Mortal Kombat as well, and a bunch of other ones. They keep putting out these fairly good packages all around like certain games and stuff. Now, the biggest drama around this specific game is the music, which we will get to in a bit, but I actually want to show off what this package has before we just dive straight into the negative. So let's show what we got here. There isn't much in the options menu: music on, off, audio volume, credits and licenses, all that stuff. You have the history part and the play games. Now, we'll come to history in a bit. Play games. Right, so we have the prototype SNES game. It's completely unfinished, and it basically was like their way of showing off what the character would look like and whatnot in the game. We've got the 1995 PlayStation version, which most of you are going to know. You can see there's enhancements. I've stuck infinite lives on because the game's really difficult, but you can have max HP, infinite lives, unlock all the levels, unlock all abilities, which is fun because it means you can just have a play around. You've got the Atari Jaguar version, which is pretty interesting. This is maybe the one where we'll have a look at this as well. There's the MS-DOS version, which comes with the new levels, the fan-base levels, and also there's even more levels, so that's cool. There's 3 expansion packs just for that version alone. The Game Boy Color game, which is one of the ones I played quite a bit of, and then the Game Boy Advance version, which is like a very zoomed-in version of the other games. So you have a ton of content here, which is really, really cool. Rather than just jumping into the PlayStation version, I'm pretty confident, like, everybody knows that. We'll get to the music, so we'll come to that one last. But let's have a look at some of the other versions of it. Let's check out the Atari Jaguar version. It's quite cool seeing, like, the border of this console. And you're going to hear that the music in this game is the original from there, I think. It's only the MS-DOS version and the version for PlayStation where they actually made the new music. But you wouldn't know too much that this isn't any much different. The camera scrolls kind of in a weird way. But the music's also messed up in this version. Something's not right. That's what I've noticed, is that the music in this version seems to like double itself up. Something like an echo ability or something. Makes it kind of hard to listen to. You guys may or may not be able to hear that. Either that, I just did a poor job porting the music to the system. But as you can see, it's pretty much just Rayman. This version doesn't seem to be that different from the PlayStation or PC version. Sounds like it's a weird echo thing going on. I wonder if I can turn that off. It doesn't look like it. Also, you can see you've got your loads of reset games, your controls. Now you can remap the controls here as well. Grimace. Secret game is R. Oh, and plus during the opening animation to press secret game. Rewind, all that sort of stuff. You can have the original, you can have a full mode, like that. You can also have it on wide, like that, which a lot of people don't like because it kind of makes it look odd. Filter, you can have it on CRT. Does look quite nice actually, like for a filter, as filters go. You can also have curved CRT, which is also quite a cool effect. I don't like CRT filters. I find them a bit much. And you can also have the borders on and off. So you can turn the border off so it looks like this. But I also kind of like having the screen there. But as you can see, it's Rayman. It's the Atari Jaguar version. There's nothing too crazy about it. If we go to reset game, let's try out what this secret game is. Pushing R. I think that's what they said. Hold R, push R. See if this works. Yeah, well, I messed it up, but anyway, you get the idea, right? So that's one version of the game. So let's get exit without saving. So each of these has a save file as well, which is really cool. We're showing off the Game Boy Color version as well, just because, so you guys can see. I played a lot of this as a kid. I don't think it's a bad game. Though, I do find that this game is still quite difficult. Let's have Gander. Nope. And now we can show off the new rewind function. There we go. A lot of these games nowadays... Whoa! A lot of these games now have these rewind functions, which I think are kind of fun. Because at least it gives you an opportunity to play through the entirety of the game. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I suck at Rayman. Like, I can get pretty far into it, but in the main game, I always get to the same sort of area and struggle. What happened there? There we go. Come on, Rayman, let's go, my boy. But I like this version. I think this version of the game is pretty fun. I don't think it's perfect at any means, but I think it's fun. Ooh. Oh, hey. Right. This is the little bonus game we've got going on here. You can also... Let's just try and get to the end of this. Ah. Come on. We can do it. Let's go, Rayman. Oh. There we go. Lovely. 4 seconds? What do you reckon? Hey, we did it. You can also change the windows and things on this. Go down here, you can see screen mode can also be full or wide if you want it. You can change the filter to be LCD or off. LCD looks very interesting, so you can see it like the dot matrix. With that off, you can have the border off as well. I do not want to go back into this, but there we go. And that's that version of Rayman. So you're seeing that like most of these versions that you're getting here, it's cool that you're getting like a collection of them. There's a DSi version of Rayman as well, but that's pretty much the same as the original game. It's kind of like the Game Boy Advance version. This one, as you're gonna see, is very zoomed in. So it looks like Rayman, doesn't it? It's just very zoomed in. And the sound effects seem delayed. Sort of a weird delay on the sound effects, but there you go. But what's interesting is that playing this version of the game where it's zoomed in, obviously things don't load until you get closer to them. So you've actually got, in some aspects, less time to deal with it, but in other aspects, like more time to deal with it. It's weird. If you know what's coming up, you can easily deal with it. But you can also see each of the games I kind of got to the same place. Whoops. This will be interesting because it's the Mosquito Man. Let's see if we can defeat Mosquito Man. Also, hacks, just keep chucking your fist at him. You can kind of just beat him this way. Makes that fight a lot easier. And that shows off this version as well. Like, it's definitely different playing it zoomed in like this, but I think they've obviously shrunk things down and made it a little bit easier in some aspects. I mean, this next level's riding the Mosquito, which okay. The screen movement on that's kind of not great. Let's just save that there. And then, you know, let's talk about the... We'll play the MS-DOS version, but bear in mind this is pretty much the same as the PlayStation version. I don't have any enhancements on for this, which is fine. Just jump in. You're going to hear the music. You're going to hear how different it is. So this is new, this track. Might just be on my end, but it sounds like all the audio's out of sync with the game. Yeah. Anyway. Classic Rayman. As you'd expect. But with music that is not from, you know, the original, where they've done away with it. Obviously, that is the problem for a lot of people. In fact, what I should probably show off is probably the biggest offender of all of this. In fact, we'll do that. If we go to Rayman here, you... Whoop. How do I, well, I was going to show you a particular level, but essentially, A lot of the Bandland stuff, harmony, the track that people really like, it's not there. They haven't licensed the music, so you get very different. Oh, these guys take a lot more hits, don't they? You get a lot of different music that you are not used to hearing, which I get it. It's going to upset a lot of people, and there is a reason why you should have, you know, the classic music in here rather than just having redone music, because it's part of the experience, right? These games are about nostalgia a lot of the time. Obviously for new people to play them, but I will say this: Rayman is quite a hard game, so. But you can, like, the main thing is these games work, right? There's no, I'm not having any issues other than weird audio delay, which might be on my end. It's still the game that you know and love in multiple different forms. Right, let's try not to get hit again, because that's going to really hurt. He says, almost getting hit again. I don't know if the PlayStation version has. Oh, you can have super original mode. There we go. I don't know why it was set to super wide. Full. You've also got the filters. You can have the CRT on it. You can have the border, which gives it the TV effect, I think. Let's put it to original just so we can see, which is good. But you're gonna hit. Oh god! And you can also rewind, though it does act kind of different in this. But you can already hear that the music is done by the composer from the newer Rayman games. Am I meant to make that jump? I am meant to make that jump. I just suck at it. Just gonna leave. But if you are a fan of Rayman, you're gonna get something from this. Now, if we save that there, that's pretty much the games in a nutshell. Obviously, there's the prototype. I could show you this, but ultimately, it's just you walking around a level. There's not much else to it. What I do want to show off is that you have the history section of this as well, which is something that's really cool about these games. You have an entire backstory to it. You have a little interview there with Michael Ansel. You've got like different things going on here. You can look at the Atari ST, so you can see what that looks like. This is what it was for. And it oh, didn't make it go down there. But you've got this entire thing, history of it. There is lots of stuff you can look at and just enjoy it, which is great, right? Like, this is what you want in part of these games. So ultimately it comes down to this thing with this 30th anniversary edition, right? If you are a Rayman lover of the first game, you are getting a very good package, because you're getting multiple versions of this game in different formats. The Game Boy Color one was like its own unique game, and on top of that you're getting interviews, you're getting a ton of history and things like that, which makes it great for people that want to know more about this game or how this stuff became to be. The biggest issue right now, and I believe Ubisoft are looking at fixing it, is the original soundtrack. I understand that it's probably licensing, so it's probably easier to get one person to redo all the music and then not license the other composers, because Harmony, which is probably the biggest offender in this game, is a track that was by somebody else, right? I'm hoping they're going to fix it. It seems like they seem to be planning on fixing it, but we'll just have to wait and see how that is. But I would say for this game is £17 or £18 in the UK. I think this is worth having. I've got it on Switch 2. That's what we're currently looking at. Just to be able to play the Game Boy game, because I think that's really worth playing, because it's a different experience. I think having the MS-DOS version with all of the extra content is super useful all in one place. Obviously the original PlayStation version as well. The Atari ST version is interesting, because it's like just another version, but it's definitely worth, like, here you go, you can see what the what it looks like. It's the SNES prototype, and obviously the SNES prototype as well, right? So there's a ton of stuff here for people that are obviously into the games. Here's a Jaguar. Oh, I was going to hope it was going to show me a picture, but it didn't. But all in all, what do I think of this? I think this is a good package. I think you're getting a very full package for the price, and because it's multiple versions of the same game, you get to experience it on other platforms that you may never experienced it before, like MS-DOS, like the Atari, and even like the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance. I think that's really cool. So this gets a thumbs up for me. I'm very much enjoying a lot of these different packages that are coming out based on games with a ton of content and extra things like that. I think it's just a nice way of game preservating a load of things into one place. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today then, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, if you like the video, hit the like. That helps out a ton. If you want to see more content on like these sort of games, or any kind of games really, but on these games that like Digital Eclipse seems to be doing, hit the subscribe button, stick around, and then yeah, if you give me your own opinions on this. Like, have you played the original Rayman? Have you not? Have you played any of the other versions that aren't the PlayStation version? Because that was the most common one. Drop a comment down below. Let's have a discussion. But until then, I will see you next video.